You're watching the Pluck You channel.
Hi everybody, or how we like to say in Germany, hallo ihr Lieben. I'm Graziella, a singer-songwriter and violinist from Hamburg, Germany. I'm in the conference room of a New York City television production company. I'll be performing some of my new songs and maybe even some surprises. I'll also be speaking about experiences in my music world and beyond. So, come to my music meeting. It's starting right now.
We're in the New York City offices of a leading TV production company with Graziella. Graziella, you come to us by way of Hamburg, Germany. Now, you mentioned to me something about that you have family in New York City?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I have an aunt, an uncle, and 4 cousins living right here around the corner on Long Island. So, and I've been coming to New York all my life, like since I came when I was 6 years old. I came the first time, and we would spend the summer here every year, and I've always loved New York. And well, in the past few years, I started performing here and there, little shows, and I just, you know, like everybody, fell in love with the city. And now I'm coming back and forth, and I'm about to move. So
how is it that they're here, and you know you're from Germany?
Well, good question. Like my father, he's from Afghanistan, and when they left, like he and his 7 brothers and sisters and parents, they like went all over the world. So some of them went to India, some of them to, you know, the States, to Canada, and some of them went to Germany. And my father happened to go to Germany, so that's
what part of Canada?
Toronto. They like we have I have 2 uncles living in Toronto and an aunt in Windsor. And yeah. We
do a lot of videotaping in Toronto, matter of fact. Now, what do you most like about New York City? And yeah.
Well, I actually don't even want to say these words, but there is a certain vibe about it, and I don't know. The city just gets you. Like it gets me every time I'm here. I'm sorry to, you know, say the words that everybody uses, but it's really so inspiring just walking, like at the moment I stay in Park Slope, and it's like, I just really love the Brooklyn vibe, and it's so, I don't know, you can just it makes me want to go home and write songs or, you know, perform. And the most important reason, what I love about New York is the music scene. I just want to dive in and, you know, perform every day, and yeah, just experience.
Well, speaking about music, you know, when I think of Hamburg, Germany, of course, the Beatles come to my musical mind. Did they have any impact on the music that you create?
Well, you know what comes to my mind when you say Beatles in Hamburg? We have these little signs in Germany. You can put them in your window, in your window, and they say, in big letters, it says, they say, the Beatles have not lived in this house. This is what comes to my mind. No, I actually performed in the club where they played in Hamburg.
Tavern? I think that was one of the clubs, maybe.
Maybe they have several, but there was one. I don't remember the name, but I once performed there. It's a nice feeling, and well, I don't know if they really influenced me, but you know, my mom used to listen to them a lot, and I mean, it's just, I think it's timeless, so maybe in a way, but not directly.
So when you were in this club performing, did you ever break out in a Beatles song or medley at all?
No, I didn't, but I was once working in this Irish pub, and the owner was a guy from Scotland, and he would perform every Saturday night, you know, certain songs, and some of them were from the Beatles, and I would, you know, just take my violin and accompany him, and this is my kind of connection to the Beatles.
Oh yeah, well, prove it to us. Can you give us a little quick snippet of you and violin doing a Beatles number?
Sure. How about, I don't know, Let It Be? Oh, can you? Yeah, right.
was the first CD you ever bought? And yeah.
I don't even know if you know of them here in the States. Have you heard of Ace of Base?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
they
it was
had
a
some
cassette
hits.
actually. It
Oh,
was a
okay.
cassette, and well, that was my first, and then my second was the Mariah Carey, the Music Box. Was there like, yeah, the Music Box, and then, well, these were my two first that I remember. But I was a huge Ace of Base fan. Yeah.
And what was the first concert you ever attended? And like, where was it and what year?
Oh God, that's an interesting question. Well, you know, when I was 3 years old, I started playing the guitar, and when I was 4 years old, I started playing the violin, and I've studied the classical violin later on. So I actually attended classical concerts all my life. So this is really famous violinist. She's called Anne-Sophie Mutter. She's a German one. I also went to, I don't know if you heard of him here, Nigel Kennedy, but most of the first things like concerts were, you know, either orchestras like the Philharmonics or, you know, classical connected stuff.
Mm-hmm. You said, or it might have been in your bio, that you started playing guitar at age 3. And
Yes,
then,
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
other instruments and poetry writing followed.
Yeah.
Tell us about your musical evolution.
Well, I actually like always wanted to play the piano, but I don't know. My parents thought it's a lot easier for me to play the guitar, so I started playing the guitar when I was 3 years old, and then the husband of my guitar player was the wife, my guitar teacher. She was a violin teacher, so I came to play the violin, and when I was 9 years old, I finally got a piano. I've been begging for that. I had been begging for that a long time, and like I said earlier, I would come to the States all the time, and when I was like about 11, I started writing poems together with my cousins in English, of course, and when I went back home to Germany, I would like put them into songs, and that was the beginning of my songwriting. And then, you know, I would, you know, just keep writing stuff in English. And back then, because people always come and, why don't you sing in German? And like back then we didn't have a strong like German music scene in Germany. Like when I was like 12, 13, we would listen to like English singing artists all over the world, but not like nowadays we have like a strong German market as well. But back then we had only international artists being on the radio, so it was really natural for me to write and sing in English.
And at age 17, you said that you decided to drop out of school. Why was that, and what did you do?
Yeah, that was like right before my high school diploma. No, I mean, no, that's a different, no, you can't translate that directly. I have a high school diploma, but what's the Abitur? Yeah, what's it called here? You know, when you finish 12th grade, like I dropped out in 11th grade, and because I felt like at one point I felt writing songs and performing and touring, this is what I want to do all my life, and nobody's ever going to ask me for a diploma, so I might as well, you know, save that year and go on tour. And I never really regretted that decision, so well, yeah, I cut school, and I, like, you know, I was busking. I was like playing on weddings, on fairs, on, you know, festivals, and people would book us for birthdays or funerals or whatever. I was just like doing anything I could to perform, and up until today, I'm performing, doing music.
Now, along the way during that journey, did you meet any well-known musicians?
I was one supporting act for Justin. That was in Switzerland. Let me think of anyone known in the States. Actually, that's it, I think. That's the only one I was supporting act for.
Did Jess offer you any advice or help you in any way?
No, there was no time for that. We just, you know, met before the show, and she was really sweet. She'd like a quick hi, a picture, that's it. And, you know, I went on stage and did my job, and she did hers.